Well, hello everybody. Flimsy Lunch Tray here with another player review video, and this being a fellow clanmate, Hello Everybody 5. And in this match, we find him in the Tier 9 Premium Georgia battleship, US battleship in Islands of Ice in Domination mode. And on a side note, Mr. Hello Everybody, I hope you love the thumbnail screen to this video. For those of you who do not know, or if I haven't referenced this much here and there, is that Hello Everybody 5 is the whale of our clan. So I found the thumbnail very befitting for this video. However, in this video, Hello Everybody gives a textbook performance of how to play the Georgia, in my opinion. He is developed very well as a player, especially since him and I got together. Oh my gosh, was that this spring? Sometime me and him first started playing and recruited him to be a part of ADF. And so he's a fun guy to play with, as me and him honestly give each other a rather hard time. In this video, you're going to see why I call Hello Everybody's performance in the Georgia a textbook Georgia performance. So that will happen slowly but surely. And me and him have played Georgia divisions a few times. He was asking me for some advice once in playing the Georgia, and me and him were divvied up each in Georgia, and I was being a complete goof that night. I was giving him terrible examples in battle of how to play the Georgia, and so since then he doesn't trust me too much on my opinions when it comes to things like this. But in this battle he does very well, and because I've played with him, I know what his habits tend to be. But I'm not going to comment on that as a whole, but just specifically on this battle. And when I say habits, I don't necessarily mean all bad. There's good ones in there too, for sure. So we find Hello Everybody pushing up towards the sea cap. So he's got destroyer coverage in front of him with Akazuki. He's got the Dawn Sky moving up in front of him. And he's popping shots off here on the Sovietsky Soyuz. A little bit about the setup that Hello Everybody 5 has. He has the dispersion mod. He didn't go with the main, was it main, modification 3, is that where you get the 3-second quicker reload, because he's rocking the 26-second reload. And he also has manual secondaries on this too, so he has a secondary spec captain on this. So rest in peace when the new commander skill work comes in here. He's got shots on the Otago B. Oh, first blood and devastating strike. The Otago's mistake there is pushing in and then deciding nope and showing a broadside like that. So when you have battleship players like Hello Everybody here, he instantly punishes that and switching from the Sovietsky Soyuz to the Otago. So very nicely done there. So what I like here, they've got a pretty good healthy flank of team ships here, is that he's not sitting in the back. He's moving up slowly but surely, and I really like that, especially when you're in Georgia, because Georgia, in my opinion, she is a great flanking battleship. She's very good for flanking. And you can already see that he's beginning to work the flank. He's moving up to get the enemy destroyer between him and the island, although that enemy destroyer hasn't been spotted yet till just now, as a hydroacoustic search gets popped, revealing where that island is. Now he knows that there's a Georgia around the corner of this island because he just shot down the spotter or fighter plane of the Georgia, and so he's turning here. He's angling in and turning out. And he wants to see where that Georgia is. So he's moving up here. Where's the Georgia? And there's the Georgia. Now he's moving around to get a little bit of a better shot here where the island's not in the way. But the one critique I have here is that the didn't use your manual secondaries right off the bat here. You kind of wait a little bit before he ends up selecting the Georgia. Not that it's nothing bad, but it's just missing out on maybe some additional damage or setting a fire there. So now he's got it going, and he gets a good initial hit on the Georgia as if Soviets or the Jean Bart moves up, angled in to the Georgia. He's going to get another shot off here, and he's focusing on the superstructure, which is good with the Georgia facing. He's not shooting right at the bow. Then he takes his rear turret and shoots at the Sovietsky Soyuz again, and then he switches his manual secondary to the Oland, which is fantastic because with destroyers around, especially in your secondary battleship, you always want to take your secondaries if they're in range and select the destroyer and get rid of them. So I had to actually make notes when I reviewed this battle because there's so much that happens in different spots, so to make sure I didn't miss anything. So the Georgia goes down to the FDG as he continues to push up. We can see that the Jean Bart backed off a little bit, which was probably for the better. And now it's Sovietsky Soyuz is in sight. Then we have this Monarch over here on the left that's burning. So he decides to take a shot off at him. And he pops the engine boost. He has the heal going. And there's the Oland again. So the secondaries are still on the Oland. So those are his secondaries are instantly going to start firing. And you think he's got the on the mains gets the detonation on the Oland. If you are in a destroyer and you're playing randoms, ranked clan battles, always make sure to mount detonation flags, especially when you're in clan battles. You should always take detonation flags no matter what ship you're in. Always. So we got secondaries working the Sovietsky Soyuz over. So he's just letting them do their job, which is great. Pushing in. So far the enemy team has lost a battleship, cruiser, and a destroyer, while everybody's team has lost 2 destroyers thus far, as they have a relatively good hold of A and B. So this flank push-in from C is what's going to be the deciding factor within this battle, depending on how Hello Everybody's team is. And what I love about the Georgia and how Hello Everybody's playing it, and you will continue to see it here, is that he is the one that's, really he's leading the charge. He has that mains down to his left, and some other ships pushing down a little bit farther than south. But he's taking aggressive position into Georgia, and I think that's great, especially for what this ship is capable of, although you have to watch out because Georgia can be squishy in some regards because she has a rather large superstructure, which you saw that double fire he had a little bit ago on his superstructure. So he's stopped, he's slowed down here. He's focusing on the Monarch here. The secondary is working it over, which is good. Monarch on his port. So he's taking his time because there's a balance that's really hard, I feel like, with the Georgia to distinguish when to push in and push in really hard, and when to slow down and just take your time and pace yourself and then push in when that deciding moment comes. And we'll get to see that a little bit more here in a minute. But for now, he's got this island in front of him. It's blocking some other battleships from having a firing solution on him, which is great. And the Jean Bart takes out the Monarch. And now he's got his eyes already on the Conqueror and the secondary selected. So it's a good habit to get into when you have manual secondary control to just go ahead and always use it in selecting from ship to ship, even if you're in a ship that doesn't have secondary manuals control. I just do that as a habit so I don't forget to actually end up using it. So he's got to slow down here because his Akazuki decided to take fire some torpedoes here. So he's got to wait. And now he's moving in. He switched to his front turrets. He's fired both of them. He's waiting to fire the rear turret, which is fantastic. And one shell hits the island. So that's good because I can see a lot of players at times, they're not patient and they fire their whole salvo of all their guns, turrets, and the rear turrets end up slapping the island. So he was mindful of that and he waited, which is really good. So props to you on that. Now he has the Alaska coming in, and Alaska makes a mistake here. The Alaska should be turning away. He should have turned away a little bit ago. I'm not sure if he's a little distracted with his Akazuki on Hello's team. You can see he's firing at him. But Hello Everybody takes advantage of shooting his, getting a not full broadside, but angled in. And now the Alaska realizes, oh, I should turn in. But if you see all the forces with Hello Everybody, he's not gonna live. You get the salvo in. That should be the finishing blow. Yep, gone. Okay, great. So they've eliminated the flanks on their immediate port and starboard. And so now Hello Everybody is asking for assistance, and now he's going to be pushing in. Now look how he's positioned. He's got a teammate down to the left, and then he's got the rest behind him and up to the right. And now he's engaged in engine boost, and he's pushing up here, as he has a Stalingrad and a Venezia up here. And again, like, this is really great because the Georgia can punish these breakout opportunities. You have some ships down to the south in B, but he's pushing it on his flank, and he's going to punish these ships here. And he wasn't hesitant too. He just slapped that engine boost, and he's going. He's focusing fire. Looks like the Venezia dropped some torpedoes on him, as he has the secondaries on the Venezia. He's also been conscious not to shoot too low on the ships, where potentially could just deflect ricochet off of the hull. As you can see, he gets 2 overpins there and a ricochet. And then he has the gearing that pops up in the background and instantly switches that manual secondary to the gearing. And again, that's fantastic. That's what you want to do as a battleship player. You want that the destroyer threat with those torpedoes to be gone. So again, he's got some torpedoes coming at him from an ally. From what it looks like from the Venezia. And so he's disabled one of the front turrets on the Stalingrad. And it looks like maybe the Stalingrad is going to try to go for the ram here, as Hello Everybody continues to angle in towards him. But in trying to go for a ram possibly there, he exposes his broadside to the FDG. And a bit too much angle on for the Jean Bart. So now you have the Venezia off to the right. These guys secondaries go on the Venezia because the gearing is no longer located. And let's see if we want to finish off the Venezia here. Yep, goodbye. And you can see, like, just with taking all these notes, like how many ships that Hello Everybody has been focusing on. You know, we've gone from the Soyuz, the Otago, we've gone to the Georgia, the Oland, then back to the Soyuz, the Monarch, and then he goes into the Conqueror, then he deals with the Alaska, then he deals with Stalingrad, and then the Venezia and the gearing, and now he's moving on to the Georgia. So he's really getting a good chunk of the enemy team here to shoot at. And this is going to be another fantastic move by Hello Everybody here. See how he pulls a hard to port? And if you look at the mini-map, where was that gearing last located? Immediately on his starboard. So Hello Everybody pulls a hard left, and rather than risking just coming straight down, because the risk is if he continues to go south, is that gearing could just be sitting on the other side of the island and just drop torpedoes into his side. So he's denied the gearing of that, because if I was a gearing, that's what I would be doing. So he's mindful of that. And then look at this. He gets this island on his starboard now, which is great. Now, granted, he does have a Yugumo in front of him, so he has to be mindful of that. As the Georgia is running away. Yeah. Some hit there. And that's when the gearing is detected, and he's not there. Gearing's moved north on the mini-map.
That's how it's done.
So that's good. So the Thunder takes out the Georgia, and I gave a little too much side there. And the gearing behind, as he's getting his secondaries locked onto the gearing. But then that is when the Yugumo drops torpedoes here. So personally, I would have kept going straight forward. I wouldn't have turned in like that, because he has that Yugumo in front of him, but I think he was trying to get a firing solution on the gearing. As I'm sure that he's chomping at the bit to get a Kraken unleashed here. Now we see here that the Yugumo is on the other side of this island. Looks like he's engaged with the Thunderer. And he's got RPF, because we can see that in the mid right of the center of the screen, that hello everybody is RPF located, which is like radio position frequency located. So he's got the heal going. He's switching to HE. Fantastic. He doesn't still have AP loaded. So he kind of saw that Yugumo backing up. So he's wondering maybe that Yugumo is going to back out from behind that island and get get all 3 turrets on him. But then he goes and decides to pop his spotter plane, and then he slowly angles back in, which is great. Especially you can take advantage of that with your battleships when you're dealing with this kind of situation where you have maybe it's a destroyer, cruiser, or even a battleship on the other side of the island, and you're trying to get a better perspective. To use your spotter plane, use your fighter plane, get them up in the air, and see if you can potentially detect a target on the other side. So it gives you some information to know what to expect. Now the Yugumo is in a tight position because he has Thunderer down to his south, and he has hello everybody pushing in here. So in my mind, if I'm the Yugumo, I'm going to be pushing directly east. I'm going to move away because it's not wise for him to move to the north towards C unless he kind of goes out and around. But there's really nothing the Yugumo can do at this point to turn the tide of the game, as there's just a minute 50 left until hello everybody's team wins. So hello everybody knows he's located, and the Thunderer goes down to Yugumo torpedoes. So now that's reset them to just 2.5 minutes till win. And so it seems from that hello everybody thinks maybe he's more northward. Because if the Yugumo has any sense in seeing the Donsky move in, the Yugumo would want to get as much distance as possible. So that's why, again, that's another reason why I believe that the Yugumo has moved directly east. He just wants to gain some distance. Now, everybody is kind of moving his position. He's just not sailing in a straight line here to help maybe potentially throw off the Yugumo, which is good. He's also put a stop to his engines. So he's also messing with his speed, which is great in this situation. As Santa makes an entrance. So it seems like everybody's pretty certain that he's moved towards C, as that's also the direction the Dawn Sky moves off to. So still detected and hasn't broken sight yet. So it seems like everybody has it on 3/4 speed, and looks like he's speeding back up again. And we can see that there's a 1 detected 1. See how it keeps flipping back and forth? That means that it's pretty certain that he's probably has torps lined up on hello everybody, and indeed he does. And even with the messing with his speed, he actually gets rather decent torps, so that means he's not too far away. And so we see there was a double flooding there from those 2 torpedo hits. But the Yugumo got a little greedy. He dropped a set on hello everybody, and he dropped a set on the FDG. So if the Yugumo had dropped both torps on the hello everybody with that tight span, it likely would have finished him off here. So we can see that the Yugumo actually he did go east, but a little bit to the south as well. So with this battle about to wrap up, seems like the Yugumo is going to live. It's going to be rather ironic how well the enemy Yugumo does, with hello everybody almost breaking 200,000 damage, and takes a blind shot maybe to get the Kraken unleashed. So in post-battle results, we can see over 960,000 credits earned, over 9,000 XP, almost 2,000 free XP, along with a devastating strike, Confederate, close quarters, dreadnought, first blood, and high caliber, with that almost 200,000 damage, with 4 destroyed, 4 set on fire, and 5 hits to Citadel, and over almost 300 secondary hits. So very well done. So you can maybe this kind of gives you an example of why I say this is a textbook performance in the Georgia. So very well done, Mr. Hello Everybody. Then we can see that hello everybody is going to have a base XP of 2,144. And then if we look at the enemy team, the Yugumo, first place, 1,739 base XP. If you had been on, if you would look at Hello Everybody's team, he would play second on the enemy team in that sense for the Yugumo player. So Yugumo did a really great job with what he had given to him, with all circumstances considered. And we could see some of the damage spread here. Wish you could see a little bit more, but you can see how everybody was just chunking from ship to ship, with, as kind of highlighted, how many battle ships and cruisers and destroyers he was focused on. It seemed like it was very important for me to take notes to just keep track of the battle with everything happening there, and over 1 million potential damage. With a net profit with the premium count of over 884,000 credits earned. So yeah, really good to see right there. So in returning to the first personal score screen here, again, it was a really great performance by Hello Everybody. He was had very good map awareness. He was mindful of the destroyers. He was really took advantage of the flanks, which I think Georgia excels on. He knew when to slow down, pace himself. He also knew when to speed up and engage and kind of be that ship on the front line with his teammates pushing behind him, supporting him, and that is a perfect place to be at in the Georgia, especially after he finished off that Alaska and pushed in against that Stalingrad, Venezia, and that gearing. So that was just a really good textbook play there. And what I think how Georgia really excels when you play her this way. Because Georgia can be hard in the sense of knowing when to push in and when not to, but you just work along that flank with your team hopefully supporting you, and as the enemy wears thin, then that's usually when you can hammer down with the speed engine boost and just move right in and mop up, as we saw Hello Everybody did today. So if you like this battle, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, which I don't know why you wouldn't like it. Comment if you have questions or you were wondering about something, maybe it's a decision that Hello Everybody made during the battle. And subscribe if you want to see more. If you have subscribed, thanks so much. And well, I guess we'll catch you next time. Take care.